Daniel Karim stepped onto the busy sidewalk, and Amir Qureshi was already watching, waiting for the perfect moment. In just seconds, a routine morning would turn into a shocking daylight murder that would leave a city and the world stunned. Broadview began the day like any other busy city, filled with noise, movement, and familiar routines. Office workers hurried along crowded sidewalks while shop owners opened metal shutters and arranged colorful displays outside their stores. Street vendors prepared fresh snacks, and traffic signals blinked over long lines of cars inching through the main shopping district. Security cameras watched every corner, silently recording ordinary moments that felt too common to notice. Among the morning crowd was Daniel Karim, a respected local businessman known for his punctual habits and quiet lifestyle. He parked his car in the same space he used every weekday and walked toward his office carrying a paper cup of coffee. People passed without recognizing that they were witnessing the last calm minutes before a shocking event. The clear sky and bright sunlight created a peaceful atmosphere that made the sudden violence even more disturbing. At 10:12 a.m., as pedestrians crossed the street and delivery workers unloaded boxes nearby, Daniel suddenly collapsed near a busy crosswalk. Confusion spread instantly as bystanders froze, unsure of what they had just seen. Some stepped back in fear while others searched for help. Within seconds, the person responsible vanished into the moving crowd, leaving behind panic and unanswered questions. Sirens echoed through the streets as emergency vehicles rushed toward the scene, marking the beginning of an investigation that would soon capture national attention. Investigators arriving moments later quickly realized that multiple surveillance cameras had captured everything, turning an ordinary morning into crucial evidence. Detectives gathered recordings from every possible source, including traffic lights, storefront cameras, and nearby office buildings. The investigation room filled with glowing screens showing Daniel's final movements from different angles. One camera captured him walking calmly along the sidewalk, unaware that someone was tracking his steps. A person wearing a gray jacket appeared several times in the background, moving slowly and keeping distance from crowds. Frame by frame, investigators studied each motion, noticing how carefully the suspect positioned themselves to avoid clear identification. The moment of the attack was quick and precise, lasting only seconds before the figure disappeared behind parked cars and blended into passing pedestrians. Officers marked timestamps and mapped the suspect's path through the area, building a digital trail from overlapping camera views. During the review, they noticed a black van parked across the street that had arrived minutes before the incident and left almost immediately afterward. Its license plate was partially hidden by dirt, suggesting deliberate concealment. Teams began tracing the vehicle through traffic footage across nearby intersections, hoping to find a clearer image. Analysts also observed that nothing had been taken from Daniel, ruling out robbery as a motive. The suspect's calm behavior before and after the crime pointed toward careful planning rather than sudden violence. As hours turned into days, investigators realized the cameras held countless details waiting to be uncovered, but every new discovery only deepened the mystery surrounding the chilling daylight murder. Investigators shifted their focus toward Daniel's personal history and business dealings, hoping to uncover a motive hidden behind his public image. At first glance, his life appeared stable and successful. He owned several logistics companies, employed dozens of workers, and maintained a reputation as a disciplined professional who avoided unnecessary attention. However, financial analysts soon noticed unusual transactions buried within company accounts. Large sums of money had been transferred to unfamiliar international businesses, some of which had no clear services or products. These discoveries suggested Daniel had been involved in complicated financial arrangements that were not widely known. Colleagues described him as hardworking, but increasingly distracted during the months before his death. Surveillance footage from restaurants and parking areas showed him attending late-night meetings with unfamiliar individuals. The meetings were short and carefully timed, often taking place in quiet corners away from large crowds. Investigators also found legal documents connected to disputes with former partners who accused him of dishonesty in previous ventures. Despite these conflicts, none of the known associates matched the appearance of the gray jacket suspect. Forensic teams continued examining Daniel's vehicle and discovered a small electronic tracker hidden beneath the chassis. The device revealed that someone had monitored his daily movements long before the attack occurred. This finding confirmed that the murder was planned with patience and precision rather than sudden anger. As detectives pieced together fragments of Daniel's hidden life, they realized the truth behind his death was likely buried within secrets he had tried hard to keep concealed. Traffic analysts followed the trail of the Black, then using dozens of cameras placed along highways and intersections across Broadview. The vehicle appeared to move carefully through side streets instead of busy main roads, suggesting the driver wanted to avoid attention. After hours of reviewing footage, investigators traced the van to an industrial district on the edge of the city filled with quiet warehouses and empty parking lots. Records showed the van had been rented using a fake identity, supported by forged documents that appeared convincing at first glance. When officers searched a warehouse connected to the vehicle's last known location, they found signs of recent activity despite the building appearing abandoned from the outside. Inside were discarded gloves, a gray jacket similar to the one seen on camera, and maps spread across a dusty table. Several streets were marked with circles and arrows, including the exact spot where Daniel had collapsed. The markings suggested days of preparation and careful observation of pedestrian patterns and traffic flow. A nearby gas station camera captured a partial image of a driver filling the van's tank shortly before the crime. Although the face was not fully clear, the person's posture and clothing matched the suspect's movements from earlier footage. Fingerprints collected from the van belonged to multiple individuals, indicating that more than one person had handled the vehicle. Despite these clues, the true identity of the main attacker remained uncertain, deepening the mystery surrounding the planned daylight murder. The investigation took an unexpected turn when a local street photographer contacted police after reviewing personal photos taken days before the murder. While organizing images from the busy shopping district, the photographer noticed a familiar figure wearing a gray jacket appearing repeatedly in the background. The person stood near Daniel's office entrance on multiple days, sometimes leaning against walls or pretending to scroll through a phone. The repeated presence suggested careful surveillance rather than coincidence. Detectives collected the original high-resolution images and enhanced them to reveal clearer facial features and body language. Using facial recognition databases and background checks, investigators identified the individual as Amir Qureshi, a former private security contractor known for experience in surveillance operations and tactical planning. His employment history showed short-term contracts in different cities, often involving security assessments for corporate clients. A search warrant led officers to his apartment, where they discovered printed maps, detailed schedules matching Daniel's daily routine, and receipts for equipment used to monitor movements. The apartment appeared recently abandoned, indicating Amir had left quickly after the attack. Further analysis of travel records showed a bus ticket purchased under a false name 2 days after the murder, suggesting he had planned an escape route in advance. Financial investigators uncovered large deposits into Amir's accounts from an overseas company with no clear business purpose. The payments pointed toward a hired operation rather than a personal motive. Although Amir became the primary suspect, detectives realized he might only be one piece of a larger and more organized conspiracy. Financial investigators followed the trail of the overseas payments connected to Amir and uncovered a complex network of shell companies hiding illegal activities. The money moved through several accounts across different countries before reaching him, making it difficult to trace the original source. Analysts eventually linked the transactions to a criminal smuggling organization that used legitimate logistics businesses to transport illegal goods without raising suspicion. As detectives revisited Daniel's company records, they discovered that his shipping routes had unknowingly been used by the same network years earlier. Digital files recovered from Daniel's laptop revealed encrypted documents containing shipment schedules, vehicle numbers, and names connected to suspicious deliveries. Forensic experts managed to unlock portions of the files and found evidence suggesting Daniel had recently started cooperating with law enforcement to expose the organization. This revelation changed the entire direction of the case, showing that the murder might have been an attempt to silence him before he provided damaging testimony. Phone data analysis revealed repeated contact between Amir and an unknown foreign number that communicated through encrypted applications. The timing of these messages matched important planning stages before the attack. Investigators concluded that Amir was likely acting under instructions from higher-ranking individuals within the smuggling network. The careful coordination, hidden payments, and use of professional surveillance methods pointed toward a powerful group determined to protect its operations at any cost. Months after the murder, investigators finally received a credible tip about Amir's possible location in a neighboring country. International agencies worked together to confirm the information through surveillance cameras and travel records. A small apartment building in a quiet neighborhood became the focus of attention after officers noticed a man matching Amir's description entering late at night and avoiding public contact. Surveillance teams watched the area for several days, carefully documenting routines and movements to ensure a safe arrest without alerting anyone connected to the larger organization. When authorities carried out the operation, Amir was taken into custody without resistance. Inside the apartment, officers discovered multiple electronic devices, fake identification documents, and encrypted storage drives. Digital forensic teams quickly analyzed the data and uncovered detailed instructions related to the planning of the attack, including maps, rehearsal footage, and precise timing schedules. Messages stored within secure applications pointed to a high-ranking individual who had coordinated payments and logistics from behind the scenes. Investigators followed financial trails linked to these communications and identified the suspected leader of the smuggling network, a respected business consultant who publicly maintained a clean reputation. After weeks of covert monitoring, authorities gathered enough evidence to make an arrest, uncovering a sophisticated system that used legitimate companies to hide criminal operations. The coordinated captures marked a major breakthrough, bringing investigators closer to revealing the full truth behind the chilling daylight murder. The trial began under intense public attention as media outlets replayed the chilling camera footage that documented every stage of the crime. Prosecutors presented a detailed timeline built from surveillance videos, financial records, and digital communications recovered from seized devices. Each piece of evidence revealed how carefully the attack had been organized, from tracking Daniel's routine to planning an escape through crowded streets. Forensic experts explained how encrypted messages connected Amir to the larger smuggling network, while financial analysts described the hidden flow of money used to fund the operation. The court examined rehearsal recordings that demonstrated the level of preparation behind the daylight murder, leaving little doubt about the deliberate nature of the crime. As the proceedings continued, investigators revealed Daniel's secret role in helping authorities uncover illegal activities linked to the organization. Documents showed that he had gathered information at great personal risk, hoping to expose a powerful network operating behind legitimate businesses. The revelation changed public perception of him from a quiet businessman to someone who had made a dangerous choice to cooperate with law enforcement. After weeks of testimony, the court delivered guilty verdicts against both the hired operative and the organization's leader, bringing a sense of closure to the grieving community. The case led to stronger regulations for logistics companies and increased surveillance standards in public spaces. Broadview residents remembered the event as a reminder that even ordinary moments can hide unseen dangers, while Daniel's sacrifice became a lasting symbol of courage and truth.